What's up? Sunday fun day? I don't know. Is it a fun day? Feels like a fun day. We're building another PC. Should be a fun day if we're building a PC, right? Welcome to the Build Show, Tat. Welcome to the Build Show, Ant-Man. Welcome back to the Build Show. I am your host tonight, Ben Estrino, over here at the Empower Gaming Studio. Here to build, not Randy's PC. Whoops. We are building Alan's PC. Let's go ahead and fix that name real quick. There's always something I miss when I fire up the stream. Do, 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 do. Do, do. Hey, what's up, son? Giant Idiot? Welcome back to the Build Show. And this is build number 31. Build number 31. 3 months in, we're a little behind. Can you show us how to reset switch on fan hub to control fan lights that PC has? So if you have a built-in hub and there's an LED button on the case, generally to resend the signal back to the motherboard control for the RGB, generally all you do is you hold down the LED button on your case and then the lights should flash and then it should hand it off back to your RGB on your motherboard. So if that's what you're asking, I think that's what you're asking. So just hold down the LED button on the case, assuming the LED button is connected to the hub still, and then that should tell it to hand it back off to your motherboard RGBs. Good evening. Well, we're here today to build Alan's computer. Hopefully he does get the notification. I did send it over to him, and I also dropped it in their Discord. This is actually perfect timing. Just got me some hot, fresh pork. Oh, nice. With the splashes of hot sauce and an ice-cold mellow yellow. Nice. Well, you can enjoy that while we build Alan's computer. And we're going to be building 5070, just like I promised yesterday. So, we've got, for this build... Thanks, I'll give it a shot. Yes. Yeah, give that a shot and see if that helps send the control back to the motherboard. Alright, so for this build, we're going to be doing a Ryzen 7 7800X3D, which has got the 8 cores, 16 threads, and a maximum boost of 5 gigahertz. This is also featuring the AMD 3D V-Cache technology that everybody is raging about. This build specifically is for a flight simulator build, so the 3D V-Cache is actually super good for most of the flight simulators. Hopefully that spits out the right info, except for the name's wrong, but that's the right info. Let me fix that real quick. Forget the name. Okay, that's fixed. It's not Randy's specs anymore, it's Alan's specs. And yes, those are correct specs. I just forgot the name. Leaves a lot of room for upgrade, yeah. Yes, this was requested by, you know, when you're talking to customers, you're talking about things like, hey, you know, we're going to start with a 5070, but if you ever wanted the upgrade, you want to make sure you have a decent enough power supply to upgrade to. So he's anticipating possibly upgrading to a 5090 in the future. So we did go big on the power supply to make it easier for the future upgrade later down the road. So that is, yes, a lot of power supply for this build. This power supply is not needed for this build. We could have easily done this with like a 750 watt or 850 watt power supply. So that is why we have a 1200 watt with a 5070. Not typically something you see, but when you convince the customer or talk to them and tell them, you know, how to build it right, this would be the right way to build a computer. Overkill on the power supply for future upgrades. So this would be the right way to do it. I keep tripping my 750 watts PSU's OCP with my 13900KF and 3070 Ti Intel CPUs make PCs go brrr. Well, you know, I love my 12900. Yeah, the 12900K was awesome CPU by Intel. I did like them. All right, so we've got the 7800X3D. We're going to be putting that on a B650E by Asus, which is a tough gaming motherboard. It's the B650E Wi-Fi motherboard by Asus Tough Gaming. It's a great motherboard. It's got all the features that we'll need here for this build, and plus future upgrades if he ever wants to add more storage, etc. All that's available to him. We're going to be using the Thermalright contact frame like normal, our typical AM5 V2 contact frame by Thermalright, and then we're going to be using the Arctic Liquid Freezer 3 to cool the CPU. These are really hard to get right now. Typically I would have just bought the RGB one, but it doesn't exist. The only one that was available was from Ireland. No joke. And they wanted a absurd amount of money to ship it here, so obviously I'm not going to wait that long either, because it's got to go across the Arctic. For the Arctic. No, it's got to go across the Atlantic Ocean to get here. For an Arctic cooler, kind of overkill. So these were at Micro Center. They're the black versions. I did purchase a couple of fans. The only thing we don't have is RGB on the block, which sucks, but it is what it is. So the RGB is a little bit lesser. Sorry. And then we have also the Arctic MX6 thermal paste that we're going to be using for the build, which comes with in the box. We have 64 gigabytes of DDR5 6000 megahertz RAM at CL30, and this is a G.Skill Flare X5 kit. It's really nice. It's really stable RAM. Along with that, we have a 2TB M.2 NVMe SSD, which is a Team Group MP44, just like I typically use in our builds here. It's a PCIe Gen 4 SSD. It's super fast. We have the Asus Tough Gaming to match the Tough Gaming motherboard, RTX 5070 graphics card, which is 12 gigabytes, GDDR7 graphics card with 192-bit RAM memory, and the bus. It's got the DLSS 4. Everybody knows about the 5070 already today. Super cool card. It's another big card for a 5070. It's pretty big, and this is one of the more expensive models. But again, that's all that was available, so that's what we got. We do have an additional fan for the rear of the case, and if you can guess what case we're building in, if I'm buying an extra fan, it is the Montech Air 903 Max, which does not have an addressable RGB fan in the back. It's just a plain black one, so we're going to replace that with an RGB 140 just to make it look cooler. And with that being said, let's get started. Hey, what's good? What's up, Army Vet? Welcome to the Build Show. Good evening. And oh, Ben, I got some weird news. I may be changing out my gold cables. It's hard to get gold stuff that don't look like it's from the Dollar Tree for my PC. Oh no. So I'm going black with red Darth Vader theme. Gotcha. Yeah, those gold cables are cool, but it is hard. It's expensive to go gold and black on a build. I actually just quoted out a customer that wanted to do a gold and black build, and we were, I think, 600 over his budget, and it's mostly because of the color theme and trying to, you know, stay within his budget as close as I could. It was tough. It was like a $2,500 budget, and I think we came out at like 3,000. So we're a little over. So we were talking about maybe doing something else in the build, but anyway, let's go ahead and get started on Alan's build. Righto. Ugh. Park it. Let's go ahead and get this built, shall we? And then another build cross off the list. Going back to the black and the red. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to install the CPU into the socket here, and then we're going to install our AM5 contact frame by Thermalright. And then that should get us underway. So first things first is our Ryzen 7 9800X3D. Why is that so blurry? So our Ryzen 7800X3D, sorry. CPU is what we're going to be installing into the socket today. The sockets. And we're going to remove the stock contact brackets. To install our Thermalright AM5 V2 contact frame. Hello, Mike Thompson. Hello, I made it on time tonight. Welcome to the build show, sir. Or welcome back, build show. Yeah, you are pretty much on time. Didn't miss much. Nice. Then we are going to end up removing the stock brackets anyway, so I'm just going to remove those right now while we're here. And now we can install our RAM real quick, which is going to be the G.Skill Flare X5 64 gig kit. It's got two 32 gig sticks, and it is CL30 timing with our 6,000 megahertz speeds. So super fast, really good timing. Solid kit of DDR5 RAM. We're going to be putting that in slots A2 and B2. Next up is our 2TB M.2 NVMe SSD by Team Group. It is a MP44, the model. Not the weapon, not the German weapon, but maybe you could use it as that, but I don't know how effective it would be. 9070 Red Devil might have made my mind up. Oh, nice. That's actually a good card. 9070 Red Devil. The XT, I'm assuming? And we're going to be placing this in the top slot right here, which has your back. Got your back, be the last one standing, it says. I assume it's trying to talk about battle royales. Asus tries to be cool with its thing. Apparently, if you run this motherboard, you'll be the last one standing in a battle royale. That's it right here on the hardware. Maybe that's why I suck in PUBG. You know, lining these things up sucks. You never get them right. Go. Got our M.2 NVMe SSD installed. Now, we're going to move on to our Arctic Liquid Freezer 3. Liquid Freezer 3. Because we want to get the mounting hardware out of the box. Just so that we can put that on here and get it set up so that we don't have to do it later once we get into the case. Do, 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 do. Do. Yeah. There we go. Our motherboard is ready to go in the case. Beepity boppity boo. It's ready to go in the case. I should probably zoom out. So this is the Montech 903 or Air 903 Max. Has maximum airflow. Your pretty standard ATX mid-tower for 2025. Features a front mesh. Has a built-in hub in the back along with all your USB-C and USB 3.0 connectors at the top, which is nice. Supports a 360 millimeter radiator at the top of the case, and also supports 2 fans at the bottom if you want to add some additional airflow at the bottom, which is nice. It's a nice feature. Comes with 3 140 millimeter PWM addressable RGB fans on the front and a black 140 on the rear. We're actually going to remove this 140 and replace it with a RGB 140, just to make sure Alan can put his sunglasses on while he stares at his PC, because with enough RGB you can get a tan. So let's go ahead and remove this rear fan while we're sitting here talking about it, and then we'll be one step closer to dropping this board into the case. By the way, I have really missed this LTT store screwdriver, which is why I bought another one. I think I am officially a fan of these screwdrivers. It does make the work easier. I will say, it's good. It's nice. It's a nice screwdriver. And I guess let's go ahead and put the 140 in. Let's get that over with. So this is a TL C14CS by Thermalright, whatever the hell that means. TLC14CS. No. Yes. I'm doing a build screen. It will be a little bit. Okay. Drop that board in there. Sounds like is a space shuttle parts. Could be. Yeah, I know. It does sound more like something NASA would name. It's the TLCS X157XYZ5 model. What? Yeah, we just call it shuttle for short. Oh. Do. Voila. We have... They can't just say fan. I know. Like, it's a Thermalright 2024 model fan. I don't know. 140 millimeter, so maybe a 14 in there. 1424. And maybe because it's 25 millimeter thickness, throw a 25 in there. 24, 20, 14, 25, 24. Dash 24? I don't know. Something that makes sense. I'm sure all the letters have something, mean something. But I don't know what. Alright, so now that we're in this situation, the last thing I want to do is put a cooler in there and not be able to reach the EPS cables here at the top, because this is a pretty thick cooler. I know it's going to be a tight fit. So what I'm going to do is put the EPS cables in before I move forward with the cooler, because I don't want to deal with having to squeeze my fat fingers in those small tight places. Who likes to do that? So I'm just going to get the whole power supply out and call it a day. May as well, since we're here. And then locate the EPS cable. Well, here's your 24 pin. May as well shove that in there. Since we're there. Yeah. Here's a CPU. Here's a CPU. These are PCIe. There we go. Got our EPS cables installed. That way we don't have to go back up there. But one more thing we want to put in is our connectors to our AIO beforehand, so we don't have to go back and forth a million times or try to do it when the radiator's in there. It's going to be a lot easier just to do it right now. Pump. Fan. And then our VRM fan. And then we'll zip tie these once we get it all plugged in, settled. But it's going to look like something like this, kind of. I don't know. Okay, so with that being said, go ahead and prep our radiator because we're going to be replacing these fans with RGB fans, which we have. So we're going to remove all three of these and replace them with this guy. Another TLC12C-S Thermalright fans. The math is amazing. My math? My math is terrible. How did I do that? Okay. Ant-Man, it didn't work, but on the other hand, I got all 3 of my hard drives to show up. Well, that's cool. Yeah, I don't know what case do you have, Ant-Man? I'm assuming the hub came with the case. When you add the blinker fluid, we won't add until later. Thermaltake AHT200. I am not familiar with that one. No, it came with my other case. Okay, what case did the hub come with? If the hub did not come with that case, what case did the hub come with? No hub. Well, if there's no hub involved, I thought I saw a hub in the images. If there's no hub involved, then how is it? It would have to just be controlled by your RGB software, right? It came with your other case. I don't know. You'll have to tell me what fans they are, I guess. Can I add RAM to i5 2400? Probably not advised to do so anymore, Alex. The socket's pretty old. I know what computer you're talking about. Might be time for a platform upgrade, Alex. Yeah, it's a Cooler Master hub I put in the case. It's Cooler Master fans. Okay. You'll have to send me photos, Ant-Man, because I'm not sure. I'll have to take a look at it. I think I saw photos in the Discord. All right. So we've got the beast mounted up there. And wouldn't you know it, good thing I put those EPS cables in beforehand, because look at that. Look at that spacing. Get a nice close-up view. I'll show you guys how tight it would have been. Yeah. Are your guys' fingers that small? Those are our EPS cables right up in there. That's why we did it before we did the cooler. Fat fingers in tight places. So, now we are ready to block the CPU. You can't play bar anymore. Is it that bad? I mean, Luke's parts are just sitting here, literally doing nothing. I would just take them. I don't think Luke's ever going to do anything with them. You could just pretend that you never took them, and they're still sitting here. And I could just tell him, yeah, they're too old to do anything with now. Because, you know, he's not going to come get him for like 5 years. They've been sitting here for like 2 years, 3 years. I don't even know how long they've been here for a long time. They're here so long. And it's a box I have labeled Luke M Extra Parts. Our little secret, except it's on the YouTube now. Well, there goes the kid-friendly status of the channel. Yeah, I don't know. You made it that way, Tat. I did not. Beyond All Reason, RTS. Never heard of it? Go look it up. I play it all the time. It's actually what's in the Discord, the bar channel. It's for RTS. It's an awesome game. Ah! That did not go as planned. There we go. CPU is blocked. What's up, Jesse? Isn't that kind of ironic? Welcome back to the Build Show. Just got back from Mexico for a business trip. Nice. Hopefully you had a good time down there. What's up, young Joe? Welcome back to the Build Show, sir. Over on the Twitch. Next up, GPU time. Today, we're building with a 5070. Time to put this 5070 to work. Oh, Alex, should we just start a Italian restaurant down in Mexico somewhere? How have the builds been going, young Joe? The builds have been going great. Yesterday we did an awesome build. If you didn't catch the stream yesterday, should definitely go take a look at the build, the end results. There's a couple of things I got to take care of on it, but outside of that, it was an awesome build. That was my first 5080 build that we did, which is super dope. But look at how big this 5070 is, and it's, you know, part of the reason why some of these cards are so expensive. Look at how big a 5070 is now. I mean, it's massive. This is a 5070, not even the Ti. Like, okay, Asus, we understand you're compensating for something. Remember, it's for those who dare. Thank you, Asus. We just have a graphics card, not must be made out of titanium. And the peels, man. A little overboard on the peels. They must have gotten a lot of returns for like scratches on cards at some point, because the peels are just ridiculous from Asus. You're like, there's no way they're getting scratched now. For more of those returns with scratches. What PC specs would be a PS5 Pro killer? Probably something in the $1,400–1,500 range. Which would be like a Ryzen 5 7600X3D paired with like a NVIDIA RTX 40. Anything over like a 4060 Ti would beat it. Or if we're going AMD, anything over a 7700 XT. 7700 XT and up would beat it. Oh my gosh. One more peel. Okay. Now I think we can install a card. Back for a second. Hope you guys enjoyed that. You tell I don't shave the back of my neck. There's a PS5 Pro? I don't know if there is or not, but I don't pay attention to that. It did. You did? It looked great? Do you play Call of Duty? I do not play Call of Duty that much. I have it installed, I just don't really play it. I'm honestly more of a PUBG guy. PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. If I'm playing a Battle Royale, that is probably what I'll play. Then, with the power cable extensions, I seen they have 30 centimeters and 50 size. Have you used sizes? Yes, 30's plenty. I mean, with your case, with the King 95 Pro, maybe the 50 makes sense. But I mean, I've used 30 centimeters in that case before, so it can work. So it's up to you, man. If you want to spend the extra for the extra length. Totally up to you. But either would work. You know, in some situations it's nice with the extra cable length for running the cable all the way down the back of the computer. But then again, you have to remember, you also have the cable length of the power supply if you're using extensions. So then you'll have all this extra cable that you have to deal with. So just keep that in mind. Yes, we'd make bank. We would. We would make bank. There we go. We got our graphics card installed. We have a peg for this one that came with the card that we'll recommend using. I know I'm not the biggest fan of the pegs, but I didn't add a bracket for this card because we knew a peg was coming with this thing, which I don't know why won't come out. There we go. The GPU dildo. What I call it. But, I mean, that'll hold the weight of the card. It'll be fine. I could just put a bracket in there. I do have a couple of those Lian Li brackets here. I always have a couple on hand because I end up using them in customer builds when they come through. A lot. Alright, next up we have to plug all this crap in on the backside and install our power supply. In one of those. Go. Got that peeled. And next, is that a LTT screwdriver? It is! I got my LTT screwdriver back. I ordered another one after I gave my other one away to Lucas, when we built the computer over at Micro Center. Micro Center was cool enough to let us build over there, which was awesome. We built Lucas's computer there at Micro Center, and then I just gave him the LTT store screwdriver that I had. Because he built the computer and I thought it would be cool that he had that. I gave it to him and then I had to go order another one because I liked it too much. I liked it so much I had to go order it again. So I give the screwdriver an A+. You build enough computers, screwdrivers matter. You know, the only thing I didn't do, guys, is plug in any of the front panel crap. So the GPU might have to come back out. I just thought of that. I'm like sitting here thinking, man, this build was so fast and easy. What did I forget? Oh, this front panel stuff is important. Oh my gosh. Well, it'll take long to do it. Whoops. I'm a little ahead of myself. Usually I take care of that before I put the cooler in. That's why I threw myself off there. Do do do. Do do do. Do 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 do. USB-C and 3 is there, so we know where all that is. We'll route the cables and then we'll pop the GPU. And get all that stuff plugged in. Typically I do all that before I get to the cooler, so oops. Do 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 do. Ben, don't forget the SATA RGB connector. Yes. Thank you for reminding me here and now. Tat. A little late, but that's okay. It's a thought that counts. There's that. And we also got to figure out what to do with this guy. Okay. RGB's in the center, there's fan in the center as well, so we could just run it right straight down and in. Straight down and in. I actually might be able to get away without having to take the GPU out. Might be able to do it. See if I'm talented enough. Oops. I need to take this one over here. Alright, all our cables are routed. What the? Oh. See if I can do it. GPU installed. Okay, we got the front USB 3 and C. This is going to be the tricky part. Yeah, we're just going to take the GPU out through this. No sense in fighting with myself. Okay, all plugged in, GPU goes back in. Two GPU installs in one build. I looked it up. That 750 price tag is spicy though, without a disk drive too. I mean, does anybody still use disk drives on consoles? Is that even still a thing? Or did you mean by disk drive as in no hard drive? Okay, there we go. Back together. Easy peasy. Now we just gotta tidy up this bundle of joy. Ah. Do 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 do. Let's do this one before. There we go. Cable management. I think this might be a new record of a on-time build this year so far. 122? No. No, we didn't. There's no way we didn't beat any PR. It would have been if I actually paid attention and put the front cables on. Front panel connectors. If I had done those, oops, maybe we might have had a shot. What was on there? It was like something on these. Nice. Looks clean. All right, let's fire this bad boy up. Alan, are you here? I don't think I've seen him in the chat yet. Side view time. Activate side view. All right, we've got to see if Alan's here in the chat. See if he's here to tell us to push that power button. All right, Alan, are you here? If you're not, we're just going to go ahead and smash this power button. Punch it. Not even sure why you bought a PS5. It just sits there. Yeah, I know. We have a Xbox One. I think it's actually Alex's, technically. And it's still sitting here doing nothing. But here we go. In 3, 2, 1. And I try a spaghetti pizza at 1K subs. I actually make a very good burger. It's called a pizza burger. Alan, push it. Alan already pushed it. There you go. I didn't know if you were here in the chat. Fire build. There we go, Alan. Your build. Glad to see you're here in the chat. You can hear the liquid pump firing up. What is a pizza burger? It's a pizza on a burger, or a. If I'm really crazy, I'll make it like a stuffed burger. Takes a lot. Takes a lot to make them, but they're delicious. But they're not part of my new diet, so they will not fit the diet. Probably 2,500 calories in it in one meal. Sweet Ben, I'm hyped. Awesome. That's your build, Alan. It's built. Now I got to do the software side of things. Windows, drivers, BIOS, all that fun stuff needs to happen. It posted, so that's a good sign. Apparently Ben does know how to build PCs. Posted means power on self-test. Hey, what's up? Welcome to the Build Show. How to make a pizza burger. That would probably be a YouTube video in itself. Alan, what games are you going to play? He's definitely going to do Microsoft Flight Simulator, that's for sure. Good old American food. Yeah, where you smash a pizza on a burger. It's not really that. We don't smash any pizza on the burger. We actually make it with sauce, pepperoni, mozzarella. And usually you bake it into the burger itself, so it's like a stuffed burger. You peel it apart, and there's pepperoni, mozzarella, and sauce inside of it. It's really good. And then on the toppings, you use, you know, whatever you want to put on your pizza. So if you use yellow pepper, green pepper, stuff like that, it is delicious. There's probably way too many calories on this thing. You've had it before? Nice. I invented it in my grandma's house when I was like 18. I was like, I want a pizza and I want a burger. And then I was like, I'll make a pizza burger and see if it works. And it turned out to be a thing. I thought I invented it. I'm sure somebody else had already previously invented it. I felt like I was inventing it myself in the moment. But I didn't use a recipe. I just kind of made it on my own. The biggest problem I had was getting the meat to stick, especially if I was trying to do like a stuffed. So getting it to stay stuffed, that was the trickiest part. All Flight Sim, you're looking at my digital situation longitude, citation longitude, citation longitude. Is I saying that? Am I saying that right? Whew. Sweet build, Ben. Thank you, Jess. Bazooka Builders, welcome back to the Build Show. I didn't already say that. Looks great, thank you. 1 hour and 27 minutes is my fastest build. Did I beat that, Tat? I don't know if I beat that. It was close. Nice rig by all means, yes. 7800X 3D, RTX 5070, 64 gigs of RAM, 2 terabyte M.2 SSD, 1200 watt power supply for future upgrades. Arctic Liquid Freezer 3. You can't go wrong with that combo. And then the Montech case. Yeah, I beat it at 91 minutes. Nice. Live for 1 hour and 31 minutes, so yeah, pretty close. Well, the build was done. Like, when did I push the power button? That's when it's done. We'll have to post a time to beat for the next build, which we'll probably beat it on the next build. The next build is a really easy build that we're going to be doing. But I do have 1, 2, 3 inventory builds sitting here to do, so we might just do a mega build stream tomorrow and pump out 3 builds. I don't know. I don't have this hernia problem anymore, so I can stand longer. Oh, Young Joe, dang, I was gonna see if I know a fix for the DirectX crash. The only thing I could suggest, Young Joe, for the DirectX crash is verify your game files, delete the profile, which of course means you're gonna have to reset all of your settings in Call of Duty, which sucks. But delete the user profile in the documents folder or rename it so you can bring it back if you have to. But, you know, rename it to folder.old or something, or just rename the folder. And then, of course, make sure your drivers are up to date, make sure Windows is up to date, and if you haven't already, if I haven't already said it, verify the files. That usually helps a lot with DirectX crashes, but 90% of the time the DirectX crashes are the game itself, and there's not a whole lot you can really do to fix it, which is probably the #1 reason why I don't play the game, because that stupid stuff happened to me all the time. No, we were over an hour. I think we were encroaching on 1 hour 27 minutes. Skytech used to do 8 PCs on a stream. No, I'm not Skytech. My builds are a little bit more sophisticated than Skytech. Sorry, Skytech. And I spend the time on cable management. I mean, I could probably do 8 builds in a stream. In fact, I'm pretty sure I've done 8 builds in a stream before. You just have to go back in my history and look at 2023. 2023, right around Christmas time, I was doing a shit ton of builds at each stream. Excuse my French. I was doing a ton of builds. Hey Francisco, hello, I'm new to the channel. Welcome to the Build Show, sir. Enjoy your show. How would I be able to reach for your new build for my son? So you can reach, you could go to the website and go to custom builds and submit a build request there. There's a whole form you could fill out. Let me drop the link. I'll drop the link for you. Make it easy. Oh, that's on my other monitor. The monitor I don't have access to. Hold on. Do 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 do. Copy. Copy. So if you go to this link that I'm going to drop here in the chat, you could fill out the custom build form, and then we could build out a quote for you and send it over. And then we could customize anything in between and go back and forth. And if you want to jump on a call, we could walk through the entire build quote so you know exactly what you're getting. So generally, I like to jump on a call and talk about the build and kind of what he's planning to play, trying to get to know the person. Oh, you're welcome. And then that helps me kind of put the vision together. How many keyboards do I have? I have 2 keyboards on this PC. I have that wireless keyboard, and then I have my desk keyboard mouse. Then I have each bench station has a keyboard, so I don't know, there's 3 of those. So I need actually more bench stations because this isn't enough. A lot of times I get to the situation where I have a computer that needs to go to a bench spot, but they're all taken up, you know, downloading drivers or running benchmarks, because I run benchmarks for like, you know, at least 8 hours on each of the PCs that I build, and they need a bench spot to do that. So I need to set up a test bench. I especially need to set up a test bench with 1440p, because anytime somebody brings something in and says there's a problem while I'm doing something in 1440p, that has happened a couple of times, and I had to borrow my stream monitor here. Looks smooth. Thank you, Army Vet. Thanks for hanging out, too. Ant-Man. Francisco, I'm your new son. I need a 5090. We'll take turns. Ant-Man. Nice try, nice try. But yeah, Francisco, just feel free to fill that out, and I'll take a look at the build request, and if you want to jump on a call, we could do that too. So, in regards to today's build show, we are completed with our build tonight. I did think about putting together more builds, but we got started a little later than I wanted to. So today we're just gonna settle with Alan's build. Tomorrow we're gonna try to do another build stream later in the evening again, and we'll try to do a couple of builds. We've got, again, a couple of inventory builds, and we've got like 4 builds on the way for custom builds that we're doing for people, so, or builds from the website, and I think 1 custom build for somebody special coming here soon. Army Vet knows. We're actually waiting on the GPU right now, Army Vet. The GPU is the big one that we're waiting on, which might take a little extra time to get here. So, but everything's ordered. We got everything here except for the GPU. So with that being said, everyone, thank you for hanging out on today's build show. Make sure you come and join us for tomorrow's build show, where we are hopefully building a couple of these inventory builds to get them out the door, because they are just sitting here doing nothing. Is it Jay's 2 cents? What do you mean? Is it Jay's 2 cents? I don't know. Now you're unemployed, you can stream for days. Yeah, I could potentially just start streaming in the middle of the day if you guys wanted me to. Sometimes it's hard in the middle of the day because that's when I get a lot of phone calls just for Empower Gaming Computers. Or I get people coming in, picking up, dropping off, etc. So sometimes it's difficult to do that in the day, which is why I usually stream at night after the quote-unquote business hours, which is 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. For the store hours. Special guest. Oh, do I have Jay's 2 cents somewhere? I mean, it would be cool to build with Jay, but he's like a bunch of states over. Very nice. Yes. All right, guys. Again, thank you everybody for tuning in for today's build show. I will see you guys on the next one tomorrow. Make sure you jump in and like the stream, share, and come on over for tomorrow's Build Show, and we'll do some more builds. Good night, Tat. Have a good night, sir. Have a good night, everybody else. Thank you again. We'll see you tomorrow.